I'll explain the basics for Hannah, and like all my children, she also has a timetable. She will be doing Bible studies as well, maths, literature studies, dyslexia games, phonic games, fun schooling journals, treasure hunt reading, social studies, Abeka art, word mazes, logic as well. So just realised there's one more thing in here, which is her treasure hunt reading. So I guess we'll start with her treasure hunt reading. So this is a free course that we just printed the manual for, and it is aimed for dyslexic children. And so although we're going to be starting at the basics of letters, so Hannah really struggles with phonemes, so knowing sounds of letters and how many sounds are in a word and things like that. So we're going to be starting back at the basics just to re-go over it, because she really needs to go over that. Her reading is, she's struggling. She can read basic words, but we want her to be able to decode new words. So that's why we're starting with this. These come with about maybe 2 to 5 minute YouTube videos, and part of them is they show kids' hand movements. So with dyslexia, they talk about needing 3 kind of inputs to help learn. They need a visual cue, they need an audio cue, and they need a kinesthetic cue. So something that's visual, something that's hearing, and something that's a doing type activity. So they learn a hand movement. We practice doing sounds in sand and things like that to just connect all those things, not just auditory and not just visual, but to connect it all in with one sound. So she'll learn one sound, then we will read books with that sound in it. We will learn to a hand sound for that, so she can help her just connect those pathways in her brain that need a little bit extra help. So so that's one of her things. And since we're on the dyslexia language art thing, I guess we'll just carry on with this. So her fun schooling journal, we have 2 that we'll use for the year. So this is her first one she's going to use, and it's all about dogs. And we open it up, and it says reading for an hour, so we won't expect that, and we also don't expect her to read by herself. But we do have some tools to help her. It has about looking at working dogs. It has spelling time, so where she has to find 20 words with 6 letters, and we will go through books, and she will pick those, and then we will kind of go over maybe 1 or 2 of those. We aim for her to learn a new word, one new word a week. It has like a maths page, it has a comic page, colouring, drawing, grids, looking at dog breeds. So she's going to spend 6 months on this, and she does about 3 pages a day, and there might be watching a movie and writing about it, mazes, learning about the dates. And this is printed in a font that dyslexics find easier to read. So it has darker at the bottom, I think is how it's worked, and it's spaced slightly differently. So the writing itself, the lettering itself is easier for her to read. And then we will go through all the different activities just kind of together. For her big writing, so she will have a little bit of copy work to do, a little bit of questions where if there's only one answer, then she will do that herself. But if any time we come to something that's a bit longer, so for these ones here, I might help her write it, or she will just draw a picture. So anything where there's a lot of writing, I will help her, or she will type it out. So the story of this interesting dog, and I will write it for her, or she will type it using voice to write programs, and then we will stick it in, because writing is very hard for her. And so that's how we're going to do some of this. We have once again have a reading log, and this is important for Hannah because she feels discouraged with reading because it's incredibly hard for her. So we've gone back to quite easy books, but ones that still challenge her, but they're called Red Rocket Readers, and she's currently on the orange level, and she will read those, and she can read them. She can read a book a day. They're short. She'll feel like she's succeeding. We have a whole bunch. We just bought, I think, maybe 20 new ones coming in, just for her to have the confidence, and she can read the below level and the above level as well. And she'll record them in the same way. She can also record if she's listened to something. So then we have dyslexia games, and there's 8 books in this series. And so she is actually going to start with book 1 and 3, which is brain food and practice pages. So because Hannah only has dyslexia and processing, logic is quite a challenge for Hannah with the slow processing and things. So this is going to help that. And these are, once again, fonts that are easy or helpful for dyslexics to use. But dyslexic children tend to have very good logic and problem solving skills, and so this one, obviously she's drawing the remainder of the face, and she does 2 pages of these a day, 1 from each book. It's following the patterns, it's adding the missing parts, getting her to look really closely at things and following sequences so that she can see patterns in words. So she will go through all of these 8 books throughout the year, doing 2 pages a day, 4 days a week, and that will get us through all of these dyslexia game books. So we're excited to start these and try them. The other thing Hannah will be doing is we've got word hunts. So like Sarah, who, if you've watched my earlier videos, she does a bit of art, then she does craft, and she does Legos, and she does puzzles. Hannah does craft, mazes, typing skills, and watching YouTube videos on how things made, because she really likes them. So these, although are quite simple, the thing is that we can help her sound the words out, and it's good for her to find those orders, because that's really hard for her. So word finds really kind of just help her to see if the letters are in order. We also have a maze book that she loves doing, and some other little puzzle books. It's just fun, so we want school to be fun. We also will be looking at using things like games. So, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry. So this is Sight Words Level 2. We also have Sight Legible Level 1. So we will start on the easy words, get these down. We'll play these with her sister too. These are probably easy for both of them, I hope. So that's like 46 different words. So I think these will be quite easy for both of them. And these will be easy for her younger sister, but sometimes a bit trickier for her. And just seeing them in different orders means she can't kind of memorise, oh, that's after, that's cool. She has to actually look at the words. So we'll be using those to help. These are called Let's Spell. So in New Zealand we have a company called Smart Kids, and if you have children in New Zealand who need help with their learning, they are really good. So these are flip ones, and so we learn about different sounds. And so we start with the first sound, we show the middle sound, and then you can try and make different words. So part of Hannah is she can't sound out a nonsense word, so we're going to be focusing on lots of nonsense words like big, how would you say that? Can it be a word? And getting her to actually try and use those sounds a bit more. So we've got a couple of flip charts for that. And this is words that start and end with blends. So blends are very hard for her. She does not hear the sounds and cannot recognise the letters, so we're going to work on that a bit. And we have this thing here, which is also through Smart Kids, and it's called a Smart Shoot. And you simply put the letters, your card in. I've just got an example one. This is memory, which you might use. And so you put the card in with the arrow, and it says, look at the numbers 97341, and then it says which number has gone. And it's in a different order, and you have to remember it. So and as you feed it through, it tells you what's on the back. So if you feed this through, look at the numbers, and then you feed it through, your questions on the back. So they're just a fun way to have a bit of tactile learning for her. And we've got quite a few different ones coming in with blends and sounds and starts and things. So that's a lot of her dyslexia stuff to help her. We've got critical thinking to encourage that thinking process, just like all the other children. So once again, we will help her with this. And I'm going to show you at the end what our special little device does. But I will either read it to her, or she uses the special device to help her read with them. She can try and read it herself, but she'll read it out loud so that I know she's understood the question, and she will answer these. So that is her logic. Once again, we have social studies, New Zealand social studies. This might be a little bit challenging for her, but I think she'll really enjoy it. We did year 4 last year, and it wasn't as interesting for her. So it talks about like our government, it talks about councils and rules and laws and all those sort of things. So that will be really good. She'll learn some new things about that. This is her Aveka art. So she has slightly harder work. She does left crafting and more art things, but there's still origami, and there's lots of fun things. Making a western scene, so she's going to be drawing the boots in, writing her name so it looks 3D-ish, lots of lettering things, adding different things into the scene that's already there, another deer. So that will be fun for her. We have, once again, we have maths, and Hannah does maths quite well, and so this is just the next progression. She's already been on grade 2, so she'll go on to grade 3, which is year 4, so she works a little bit behind in maths, but because this is advanced maths, sometimes, not always, but for some of them, this works really well for her, and we do the same things, and so she can do it. It does have time things at the back, and so for Hannah, time things don't work. She can't do that. That means she just kind of shuts down. So she might have to do them, but without the speed drilling. So she will do the practice, but without the time, and that seems to help. She has Bible study here, just like the other children. Same thing. She won't be able to read all that, so I will read that to her. So I will sit and read to her, and then we will go read this together, and she will fill in the blanks, and she will do the other little activities. So with Hannah, although we encourage reading, we've been advised that she will always need a reader writer, someone to help her read. So we will be doing lots of her reading. We will also help write her answers if she needs to, or she will type them. So taking that pressure off her. She will also has Around the World with picture books, just like her sister. And the way she will do hers, like I said, she will type them, and then we will just stick in, when she does facts, we will stick them in, so that's less pressure for her to have to, and be able to enjoy it. And just, yeah, helps her learn better. We also have her colouring books, which are the same as Sarah's, if you've watched my previous video, and that's just something fun. Her literature studies, so she has these sort of books, and we've got Mr. Popper's Penguins, Charlotte's Web, They're Called Paddington, Farmer Boy, and The Big House in the Little Woods. So she also has 5 to go through this year, which probably seems like a lot, but we've got lots of things to help her. And so actually the first thing I wanted to show you is this is how she's going to do her first one, and she's going to listen to it, and then we will read through the questions together, and I will write her answers. She might write some, but yeah, so she's going to listen. And we also have, so this is the clever thing, she has the book to go with it, so she will actually read along with the book with the CD. So she will have the book open, and even if she can't follow quite along with it, if they go too fast, she'll be able to look at the pictures as they go through it, and hopefully she'll be able to kind of gauge where they're up to. We won't do a session with her, because that will be too much for her to take in and understand. She has short-term memory stuff, so we need to take things slowly with her, and but this is how we're going to do it for her. So she will listen to it, she can read along with it and look at the pictures if she wants to and needs to, and then we'll read the questions and answer them together. So so she'll do that. We have also the book called Paddington, which is this one. CDs, we have Mr. Popper's Penguins. The CD just hasn't arrived yet, so she will do Mr. Popper's Penguins as CD. Charlotte's Web, we also have the same CD, has not arrived yet. And Farmer Boy, we don't have the CD to, but I will read it to her. So some of them I might read to her, and some she will listen to, and then we will help her. So I wanted to show you the thing that we've got that we were recommended to get for her, and it's called a C pen, or a reader pen, and it's currently flat and we're not sure why, so I can't exactly show you, but what it does is she will runs it across the words like that. It scans the words and then it will read it to her. She can scan a whole page nearly and then listen to it, or she can read and scan a word she's stuck on. So when she's doing her work in her workbooks, she can, so for example, say we're looking at Charlotte's Web and she's come here, she could read explain, and then she doesn't know the next one, so she might go, okay, explain Wilbur's, and she won't know the next word, so she'll go statement, what a gamble, how a friendship is, and she will, it will read it for her. If she wants to know what statement means, because she doesn't understand it, there's a dictionary on it, so she'll just scan statement, then she'll put the dictionary and it'll give her a definition so she can understand the word as well. So this is to give her more independence with her reading, because it is a challenge for her, and she will probably always be challenged by it. It will never probably come easy to her, and so we want to give her all the tools we can so that she can succeed. And we recommended a reader pen to help just to make it more enjoyable for her. So when it's working, I will do another video to show you a bit more in depth about our reader pen. They weren't cheap, but we feel like it's an amazing investment for her. For her to be able to go to bed and read a book where she can read what she can read and she can scan the words she doesn't know and feel like she can read, because she's desperate to read, but it's so hard for her. So this little pen is going to help that, where she can take it and scan it, and yeah, she will be able to book a reading. So that's Hannah, and that is kind of all that we're doing. And I know it looks a lot, especially for Hannah, but it's about 1 or 2 pages a day for things, and we are also quite flexible. If we find it's taking too long or it's not working, then we can extend, we can take things out, or we can go, actually, let's not do that every day. Let's take, instead of 6 months to do this course, we'll take a year. We're only going to get through 3 books instead of 5. She's not really enjoying this, so we're very flexible, but this is what we're starting with. And like maths, I think last year we only got up to 8, so we didn't do the last 2 books because we didn't get around to them. Bible studies we always seem to finish. The kids love them. They love being read to, and it's a nice time for me. So with Hannah, there'll be lots more me reading and helping her read and using her pen to read, or listening to CDs, things like that, to help her still get that quality literature without that stress. So thanks for joining in. If you have any questions or comments, please type them below. I'll link to some of the things we're doing, and yeah, and it was lovely to see you, and just subscribe and like, and coming up will be some more videos again later. Okay, bye.